Hey, everybody. We want to talk about bad decisions. Have you made any bad decisions? In The Relentless Courage of a Scared Child, you actually talk about a number.
Yeah, I actually at one point didn't want to write the book. I talked to my publisher and was like, I think I should give the money back on this because I feel just like so screwed up when I list all of the dumb things I've done in my life. And let's be clear, you know, when I was young, I had a chaotic and crazy life. But later in my 20s, most of my trauma was self-induced. I mean, let's just be honest. So,
well, but she's not the only one that has made bonehead decisions. I mean, I dated a woman once who told me she had a demon inside of her. And yet I stayed thinking that somehow I could
fix it,
right? Because, you know, that's what I am, Mr. Fix-It. And it was so painful. If someone tells you they have a demon, believe them. And don't get in a relationship with them.
Take them seriously.
Take them seriously. And what about you? If you look at The Relentless Courage of a Scared Child coming, my goodness, less than 2 months. It's going to be
coming fast, yeah.
You want to tell?
I'm getting choked up. I don't know which one of the stories that's, wow. Which one of my messed up stories I swallowed wrong?
Well, it really impacted your mother. I think the one where she asked you, are you in Costa Mesa?
Oh, yes. Sorry. I swallowed a frog just in time to
So
not.
it's not really emotion. It's
no.
You're gonna make me tell another one of my bonehead decisions?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. So, how do you even get to why I would do something so stupid? So I just on a dare went to Costa Rica with nothing. Was dared to get my passport and go with absolutely nothing and not tell anybody. And so I went to Costa Rica, and when I got there, I thought, you know, I better call my mom and tell her because I just talked to her. And so I thought I better call and tell her. She's going to have an all points bulletin put out on me. So I called her and I'm like, hey mom, I'm in Costa Rica. Well, she had just seen me the day before. So she's like, oh, you mean Costa Mesa? And I'm like, no, Costa Rica. And she goes, the country? And she's like, have you been sex trafficked? And I'm like, no, I've not been sex trafficked. I've not married a cartel drug lord. I did, like, you know, spend some time convincing her. Could you really?
I could see that.
So,
but you know, let's give this a little context. In the last video we did together, we talked about Playboy and cancer, and Playboy again and cancer coming back,
and then wicked depression.
Wicked depression, which was treated with Prozac, which for your brain,
wrong medication for my
Prozac
brain.
Dropped her frontal lobes. Now, if you start with your frontal lobes working too hard, then Prozac could be a good thing. I mean, I've had many patients over the years who responded magnificently to it, but I've also had patients where it disinhibited them, and that was a Prozac decision.
It was a Prozac moment. Yes, it was a Prozac moment.
And so you're sort of
on Prozac,
dating this older guy.
Yeah, dating wasn't really the word, but anyways, so we had been sort of flirting with the idea of dating, and all of a sudden on Prozac, I wasn't intimidated by much of anything. Nothing mattered, and the word yes just popped out of my mouth all the time. You had an idea? Okay, let's do it. It was sort of bizarre. And so, you know, but it leads me to this idea, behavior is complicated. So there's a lot of reasons, like I was normally, yes, I had made stupid decisions before that. I had not always made the best decisions, but I was cautious. Like I was anxious about making decisions.
And on some Prozac, anxiety is good.
Right, but on Prozac, I was dangerously impulsive. And so,
so your anxiety went down below.
Yeah, I didn't care about much of anything.
What is rational?
Yeah. And so I found myself doing this series of really dumb things over a few months and not really understanding why, but knowing that I just felt sort of numb. I didn't feel like myself. I didn't know why I was doing some of the things I was doing. I was just sort of going through the motions of like, well, sounded like a good idea at the time. And, you know, it didn't really make a lot of sense.
And most people don't know that there really is a healthy set point for anxiety. That if it's too high, obviously it makes you suffer and you'll never leave your house. But if it's too low, you end up saying yes to things that don't fit, that they don't fit your values, they don't fit what's good for your psychological health, your physical health, and can be downright dangerous. And one of the things I always tell my patients when people ask them a question like, hey, let's go to Costa Rica, I dare you, to go, I have to think about it.
Yeah, but you don't, if you're on the wrong medication,
you don't think.
So one of the reasons we're doing this is because so many people, I did not anticipate after our discussion over the last couple of days that we posted about Playboy and cancer, I didn't anticipate the number of just heart-wrenching messages I was going to get from women. I really didn't anticipate that. It was beautiful and sad at the same time.
Yeah, and you thought people were going to judge.
I thought they were going to be very judgmental, and instead they were just these amazing messages, but they were so painful for so many people of bad decisions they had made. And behavior is complicated. It happens for a lot of reasons. I mean, it took me so long to sort of overcome that time in my life, that period of my life. Yeah, I think it took me longer to sort of get past the self-loathing from that period of my life than it did to get over the trauma of my youth. Quite frankly, I'm just being honest. Because it's one thing when something happens to you. It's another thing when it's your fault or when you think it's your fault. And so that was harder. And that was the messages I was getting from these women were very deep, and they were full of, I could feel this pain from bad decisions they had made or what they believed were bad decisions. So behavior is complicated.
So we have so many.
I know,
comments.
I love this. So many comments coming in.
So much. And if you've made bad decisions, learn from them.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, don't ignore them. Don't drink them away. Bad. But learn from them so you can make better decisions going forward. And of course, it's always on a foundation of how healthy your brain is. Because if your brain's not healthy, like you have no thyroid, right, running around your brain, thyroid lights up your brain, turns your brain on. Your decisions are better when your brain is better.
And, you know, one thing for me that's been so helpful and so healing is having a partner that I trust, and you have made it so safe for me to be able to just go through so much of this and talk about things in such a non-judgmental way. And I know that's rare. I know people are going to like go, well, what if I don't have that? I don't have that. And, you know, that's not fair. But it, you know, that's just something I think that is an important thing. If you can work on that with your partner, if you have a partner, or if you're looking for a partner, that's a thing that's a really important thing to be looking for, is someone that you trust, someone that you feel safe with, that you don't have to hide and feel shame with.
Which is why I think a lot of people, you know, when I counsel them, and even for me in the past, you know, another bad decision is you jump into relationships too quickly. It's, you know, I mean, we all, not all, but most of us want to be connected. And you just have to give it a little bit of time to know, are they consistent? Are they reliable? Can I share some of my bad decisions and they don't judge me? Because, you know, most of us already have a critical part of our brain telling us how wrong we are, that, you know, being with someone who has a more critical part of it's frustrating.
Yeah, no, that was one of the most special things I remember when we were dating, and there were a couple things I was like, how am I going to tell him this? How am I going to, like, the Playboy thing was one of them. I'm like, that could have been a deal breaker, you know? So I was like, I know.
Or a deal maker.
I know, but not everybody is like you. Okay. So I was like, but and I had spun myself out so much that not just that, but so many of the decisions I made, the dumb things I did, you know, the dumb people I dated and going to Costa Rica and just being stupid, you know, at this period of my life when I was on this medication, and I wasn't doing drugs. That's the crazy part. So I was just,
Well, you were doing drugs.
but
They were
pharmaceutical
legal.
drugs,
They were
right?
legal drugs.
So Prozac was just, but trying to figure out how you're going to say something to someone. And I'm like, how am I going to tell this person all these things? I just remember you looking at me and you're like, okay, like, am I supposed to say something? Am I supposed to react? And I'm like, that was so weird. Like, you just didn't react. And I wasn't sure how to take that at first, but it just, all of a sudden I felt safe. And it felt like this safe place to be able to, you know, I mean, of course you are a shrink, but so.
It's a little bit of training in that.
Yeah.
Well, we hope all of you are staying safe.
I want to hear your bad decisions. I've been talking a lot about mine. I want to hear from you guys. What are your bad decisions so I don't feel so alone? Please. Let's just air the dirty laundry now.
And someone said, going back to relationships too many times, it didn't, it wasn't the first time for either one of us.
No.
Right?
No.
So if you think you got it right the first time, you should go to church and light candles and be grateful.
Be grateful
Right?
and cherish
I think
it.
For us, it took us a couple of times, but
And now till death do us part.
thank God we got it right.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere. Thanks.